Hello! Did you just catch me doing my hair there? It's getting cut tomorrow, so it's just at that point now where it's quite big. It is quite big. I hope that you can hear me as well. I had a little microphone challenge earlier on, but it should be okay. If whoever's watching, if one person would just let me know you can hear me, that would be absolutely fabulous. Thank you. Yeah, because I have had a little problem. So if you can just say, yes, I can hear you, Michael, that would make my day. You can probably hear the music. That's fine. Yes, just made my weekly scale. Can you hear me? Hope you can. Just let me know. That would be brilliant. And then I can talk about apple trees. Yes, we can hear you. Hooray! Oh, boy. That's good news. And look, Facebook user can also hear me. Hello, whoever that might be. Oh, well, what a weekend. Went to a christening. That was fun. Family christening. Also, we had went to our mate's house on Friday night for a fire. So our next door neighbours invited us around for a fire, and we had a great time. We lit a fire, and after about 15 minutes, we were like, "Oh boy, it's cold." So we went back indoors. But we did have a fire. Even though it was only 15 minutes, the next morning, the smell of your clothes, man. Oh boy. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about apple trees in a moment. Looking forward to chatting with you, sharing my thoughts on apple trees. Did a bit of gardening as well this weekend. That's why I want to talk about the apple tree. And you're thinking, come on, Michael, get on with it. What we're waiting for? Tell us about the apple tree. What's the banter? What's happening? Okay, well, let's do this first of all, and then we'll talk about apple trees. Hang on. I can't remember which button it is. Is it this one? Ah, yes, that's it.
It's the start of the week. Grab your coffee cups. It's Magic Monday Live.
There. I hope you don't mind that little bit of self-indulgence with the Magic Monday theme and the little header thing. It's all good fun. So in a moment, I'm going to say hello to everybody who is here and who is watching. But first of all, just a quick one today. At the weekend, I was in our garden and just having a little look around. And we have an apple tree at the end of the garden. And I've written about this in a newsletter, so you may have heard me talk about it before, but I want to give an update on the apple tree. We had some ivy that we allowed to take over a wall. We thought it looked quite nice actually going up and over the wall. But what we didn't realize is it also started to take over the apple tree. And this ivy devoured quite a lot of the apple tree. I was like, oh man. And I knew it was doing something, but I didn't quite know what it was doing. So I went in and I thought, I'll just cut out all these bits of ivy. Well, it took ages and I couldn't get all the bits unraveled. So I just thought, well, don't worry, I'll just leave the bits of the ivy to die. And then when it's all crispy, then I'll just pull it off. Well, you know what had happened is that the ivy had killed over half of the apple tree. And it was a real shame because it was kind of one of those ones that, like, you know, when trees, when you draw them as a kid and you go up and then you go one that way, then one that way, one that way. It was that type of lovely apple tree, all beautifully done. And suddenly half of it was devoured by the ivy and it died. So, so the next year went by and I'm looking at it and thinking, oh, Struth. It really has killed everything. I stripped off all the bits of ivy. I chopped back all the trees, all the branches, all the dead branches, and basically we end up with an apple tree that looks like this. You've got the trunk, and then one side comes out and has all these bits over here, and this side there's just a little stump and nothing at all. But here's the best bit. That year, this was last year, we had our best ever apple crop. We had more apples off half the tree than we previously had off the whole tree, even pre-Ivygate. Yes. And that was interesting. I was thinking, I wonder why that should happen. So I did a little bit of research. I had a little look on, I think, the Google first of all, and then talked to a couple of people around here who know a bit more about gardening. And they said, basically, what was happening beforehand is because the tree hadn't been pruned on a regular basis, hadn't been, brought back, then it wasn't getting enough nutrients going out to the ends of the branches where the blossom would appear and where the apples would eventually appear. But when we got rid of half the tree, suddenly the root structure was the same, and they were getting all of that stuff into that half of the tree, and it would have these fantastic apples. Well, guess what's happening this year? It's even better. The blossom is just starting to come out. And if it's anything to go by, the blossom from this year, if the blossom's going to turn to apples, we are going to have our best apple crop ever. And they are brilliant apples. Christine cooks with them and makes all sorts of stuff with them. They really, really are fabulous. So why am I telling you this on a Magic Monday? Well, it has to be a metaphor, doesn't it? There has to be an analogy in there somewhere. And there does. And there is. Sorry, and there is, and there does. Yes. And basically, I think this is exactly what we do with negativity in our lives. The ivy is the negativity. So the negativity will come along and will sneak in. Sneak in, first of all, just a little bit like that. And if we don't nip it in the bud straight away, we can allow it to overtake half of our lives. Sometimes it might be people who are being negative. It might be situations. It might be a job. It might be, well, all sorts of things. But if we don't get rid of it, we don't realize until it's actually sucking out so much from us, then we haven't got that wonderful opportunity to be the best that we can be. Now, if you get rid of the negativity, sometimes it feels like you have empty space. I think we've all had that situation where we've maybe got a friend or somebody in our lives who is sapping energy out of us. And it's gone beyond the thing where you just want to help them out or whatever. It's just constant all the time. But how do you take them out of your life? Because it's going to leave such a void. Well, actually, what happens is you fill that void. Initially, it feels empty, like half an apple tree. But then, because of the energy that you can put in, amazingly, you become this better person. It's the same with work. If you're self-employed, I bet there's loads of time that you spend working on stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Negative stuff. Not necessarily negative stuff, but just unproductive stuff. Or you have clients who take up, 80% of your time and they give you 20% of the income into your business. But you keep with them and keep with them, hoping, because you can't say no. You daren't say no. You daren't cut them out. But actually, when you do, it's free. Shall we say hello to some people? So, first of all, here's Matt in the land of smiles in Thailand saying, yes, you can hear me, because earlier on I wasn't sure if my mic was working. And there's Andrea in sunny Spain. Oh, I'm very jealous. Steve Kelly is here. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Steve. Steve's building a new college at the moment. I love seeing these updates. They look fantastic. And there's Steve. Hello, Steve in Hailsham. Great to see you. Kellen Ann. Yay. So, this is a great example now. This is a brilliant. Kellen wrote a thing on Facebook. I read it this morning. And she was talking about how she'd been so busy trying to share what she was doing in her life, she'd forgotten to enjoy what she was doing at that moment rather than doing the sharing. I think we've all done that, haven't we? I was talking to somebody at the weekend at the christening, family christening that I was at, and they'd just been off to Mauritius. 3 of them had been to Mauritius, and 2 out of the 3 people, she said, spent more time setting up their Instagram photographs than they did actually looking at the beautiful sea that was in front of them and the beautiful experience. She says, I took a handful of pictures to remember, but these other 2 were on all the time setting up their Instagram pictures. And I think Kellen was saying a similar thing about not wanting to share everything that you do in your life, just enjoying what you're doing in your life. Hello from sunny Devon. Hello, Nick Finney. Nick, I've just been talking about you last week as well. So those people who have joined our latest Write That Book Masterclass, Summer 22, one of their very first videos that they have to watch is my interview with Nick Finney about his book and how he wrote his book, The Bumps Ahead. And I do talk about it a lot, but it is a brilliant, brilliant book. So yes, so that's part of their homework. Matthew said there's no apple trees here, many mangoes and limes. Is it the same thing? Can they be whipped out by something? Dawn's here from sunny Taunton. Enjoy today's blessing. Thank you. Hi, everyone, from a very, very sunny Wales. Just broke off from seed planting to join Magic Monday. That must be nice. Ooh, Facebook was having a moody. Hello, everyone, from chilly Wheatley, struggling to get things done. Might try 70-minute sprints. Well, of course, 70-minute sprints is the trick. There's Noel in Nuneaton, and there's a great analogy. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Michael. We use, cider making. Ruth, that's exciting. I will have that done for you for next week. Not the cider making, the other thing that you talked to me about. Remember, you have to graft an apple onto a sapling first. Remember, you have to graft an apple onto a sapling first. I think I know what that means, but I'm not quite sure what that means. Yeah. Good afternoon from Crieff in the heart of beautiful Perthshire. So are you at Crieff Hydro, Ian? My mum and dad used to go to Crieff Hydro, and they invited my brother and I to go along with them at one point. Invite them. It's funny, isn't it? We've been taking our kids on holiday right up until their early 20s, and our son later because he's a bit older. And my mum and dad stopped taking us on holiday when we were 11. And then we got invited when we were late teens to go and have a weekend at Crieff Hydro with them. Oh dear. Making space creates space for new exciting things. It's all in the book. It is in your book. Absolutely. The poor sods haven't listened to me. Nick, it's a great interview. It really is. Well, I am going to crack on. I've got a lot of wonderful, wonderful things happening at the moment. It's very, very exciting. I'm going to take my own advice, though, and I'm going to start and eliminate a few things as well. So I'm going to eliminate a few bits and bobs, and I know that in the next couple of weeks, I have got some various events happening on Mondays. Can you believe it? Yes, we're getting back out there. Whoa, in the real world. So Magic Monday Live may or may not be live. I don't know yet. It depends whether we can get connected where we're going to be and with the stuff that we're going to be doing. But if we can, brilliant. And if we are unable to, then there will be a recording will suddenly appear. I'll be here anyway, 12 o'clock every Monday, Magic Monday Live. A couple of final comments. Someone who is trying to start Instagram to grow and follow asked me how I choose a filter for photos. So I said, just take simple photos and post them. Don't change them. Only takes a second. That's the way to do it. Perfect. Apple a day keeps negativity away. Have a fab week. Thank you very much. John's here. Hey, John. Hello from a muggy Maidstone from John. Still plodding on. So much help. John is the most inspirational human you could ever want to meet. One finger, one eye, and he's writing his book. I just love that he's doing that. Amazing, amazing man. That's it, folks. Thanks very much. We will see you soon. Bye. Bye. Don't worry, Fiona. We'll just watch it on replay.